Infographic number 2. This is part 2. They are untitled at the moment, but this is part 2. Alright, so in the other video, I showed you guys a video of a guy resisting release, and I was talking about complying, and I went through too much of my own past, so that was like TMI like a motherfucker. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you have gone out and you have committed crimes and you have a criminal record and you're on papers, you best believe that if they have a warrant for your arrest, they're going to come to your house eventually. So, you know, while you're out enjoying your freedom and not thinking that they can pull you over at any time and because you're in the car with someone else that they can't arrest you, don't believe the hype. If there's a warrant out for your arrest and they so happen to catch you and pull you over and identify you, and you give them your license and you comply with everything and they do still take you to jail, it's because they already had a warrant out on your arrest. They just didn't have the exact address in which you sleep. Which is like a lot of people give their parents' address. When they get a license, they get their parents' address and they don't give the address in which they live because either they're renting or they're leasing and all their mail goes to their parents' house. So they go by their parents every day because they have a legal excuse to go get their mail, which some people literally do. So with being that that's the address they have at the DMV, the cops are always there and they're always leaving warrants. Now my advice to you is to do what I do. When I got a warrant for my arrest, the first thing I did was call the cops. I didn't try to run. I didn't try to move to Richmond. I called the fucking cops. I already told y'all all that shit in the other video, so go back and watch it because I'm not going to rehash it. So here's the thing. Honestly, truly, the sheriff department came to my house and left me a warrant. When I got home from work, I called the cops. I talked with the cops. I went to court. We solved the problem. I'm free to make videos. Alright? But if you're out there and you're doing shit, you just have to understand. Let me see if I can make an example. This is a Mass Effect book. This is your file. This is your paperwork. Alright? So, it's sitting on someone's desk. You have a warrant for your arrest. So it's sitting on someone's desk. Someone is going to find this paperwork of you. Someone's going to find it. It's going to get handed down the chain of command. And after it gets down the chain of command, it's going to wind up in the hands of an officer who's going to come knock on your door and put this thing in your door hooch. And if you're at work, it's better for you to get arrested at home than to get arrested at work. I've seen this done. It's not a fucking pretty picture when you have the cops come to your job to arrest you because you did some stupid shit, and instead of calling the cops to check on how you can solve this problem, you decide, I'm going to avoid these motherfuckers as long as I can. You know how most people get caught? Most killers and criminals get caught? They get caught in a routine traffic stop. That's it. They get caught in a traffic stop. It's not because that they don't think that they can get caught. It's just goddamn guaranteed that most killers, criminals, robbers, rapists, gun runners get caught in a routine traffic stop. They don't get caught when they think they're going to get caught and it's going to be a shootout and all that shit. No. They get caught in a routine traffic stop. 9 times out of 10, a state cop, an FBI, CIA, and every damn body else on their sun, generally, an off-duty officer will be informed like of those high regions, especially like if you're on like America's Most Wanted and shit like that. A high-ranking officer will be notified and they will come and what the fuck is the word? Extradite your ass to the states that you committed those crimes in. So most likely it'll probably be a U.S. Marshal that'll come and take your ass back. I don't think the FBI does that, but I know U.S. Marshals do. So if you're out there and you're causing all of this clusterfuck and you think that you're getting away with it, if you have a horseshoe up your ass that belongs to a unicorn and you've been getting away with it, hey, good for you. But eventually, that shit comes back. So if you're out there causing trouble, then you kind of ask for that shit. And if you're asking for that shit, when your time is up, you can't get mad and run. It's at 100%. But you know, then if you're going to run, the longer you run, the longer your time is going to be when they finally catch you. So why are you bothering to do that shit? Again, you know, some people just don't know right from wrong. But let me rephrase that. Some people just don't give a fuck and they do what they want and then they act like little crybaby bitches when that shit happens. And I tell people all the time, you know, you dig your own grave with a silver spoon from the first time you commit a crime. Period. If you continue to commit crimes, You can't get mad when your ass is busted. You can't, because you have no one to blame but you. Because instead of doing what's right, it's fuck you, I do what I want. And fuck you, I do what I want gets people locked up quick, fast, in a motherfucking hurry. So why do that shit? Oh, because fuck you, I do what I want. So, and what does that give you? It gives you nothing. Fuck you, I do what I want gives you absolutely nothing. Sorry, my nose just got like a hangman or something that's like driving me crazy. I can feel it tickling, so either it's gonna like fall out or it's gonna make me sneeze or something, but something's not right with my nose. Anyway, the whole problem is the young man did resist a little bit, but it was reflective because the guy did reached in and put him in a fucking headlock. You know, that's like a reflex. You know, no one likes to be put in a headlock. Trust me, I know. I don't like being put in headlocks. It's different if I'm making a movie and I say, okay, put me in a headlock because this is how we're going to work out this fight scene. We're going to go from a headlock to me dumping you on your back. It's going to be a break fall thing. So we're going to run the routine a few times to make sure nobody gets hurt. And that's how that works. But in real life, you know, nobody's putting me in a headlock. I'm not going to stand there and just take that shit. Which again, you know, I told you guys a story about how I got handcuffed over a fucking cigarette. Because my two cousins got to fighting over a cigarette. I told you guys how I got handcuffed over driving a stolen vehicle after getting punched in the face twice and not being able to undo my seatbelt to whoop this dude's ass. And then when I unwhooped my seatbelt, the cop sat on top of me and put his arm under my throat and started explaining shit to me while I told him I had my gun. Well, it was his gun, but I said, I got your gun. If I want to kill you, all I got to do is twitch my pinky and you're a dead man. And he's like, what? I said, hey, look. You're choking me. I got your gun because you put your dumbass gun leg right on my fucking lap. And without consciously thinking, my hand was already right there on the gun before you started talking. You know, I hope that officer learned that you don't put your gun leg in on any suspect of anything at all. You're supposed to be trained for that. I will make a video about police training after this, as a matter of fact. But, you know, the thing is, you have to understand that when you've gone out and done wrong, not everybody's willing to give you a second chance, and especially the police. You know, if you are a career criminal and you've gone out and you've never been caught, it's only a matter of time before you get caught. So don't do stupid shit. Every time you see one of these videos, again, you only catch the middle to the ass end. And until you can figure out what led to that, you know, which he explains in the video, honestly, she got a ticket for doing 45 and a 30. Alright, so she's past the reckless driving, because 45 and a 30, yeah, that is reckless driving, excuse me. Because you get 35, you're allowed, and then if she was doing 40 and a 35, she'd have been fine, but she's doing 45 and a 30, so that is reckless driving. So she's probably got a ticket to pay as well as trying to get him out of jail. And she's crying and everything, and that's to be expected, because this is an emotional time when you're getting arrested. But you know, the thing is, first and foremost, comply with the cops, especially if you're a colored and you are male. Comply with the cops, because some of them, not all of them, some of them get their jollies out of body slamming people on the ground. If you don't give them the pride of doing that by just go ahead, you know, especially if you already know that you got trouble with the law to begin with, and then you can worry about that harassment suit that you can hit them with. You know, the law works both ways, you know, especially like say that the warrant out from your arrest was taken care of, but the cops didn't know it. Oh, you got them dead to rights. It's like, alright, well, first and foremost, the warrant was taken care of. We took care of that shit. I talked to the judge, everything was taken care of. You know? So, you slamming me on the ground. Lawsuit. You harassing me. Lawsuit. Cops are going to stop when they hear the one word that everybody hates. Lawyer. So, you know, just cooperate with the cops. And again, if the wrong side of that is if you've been doing wrong, eventually they're going to get you. They have your address, they're going to bring the warrant to your house. So even if he goes home, they'll say none of that happened, but they had a warrant for his arrest. They're not going to follow them home. They're probably going to beat them home. And when he gets out the car, we got a warrant for your arrest, which is probably what I would have done. It's like, okay, you can go. And like, we're gonna go out now. And the first damn thing I do is like, we're going to this motherfucker's house. It's like, what? We're going to his house. We got a warrant for his arrest, we're going to his house. We don't have to make a scene right here. We'll just go to his house and pick him up. You know, if he does anything stupid there, well, that's his fault. But, you know, you got a warrant for your arrest. But the thing is, every time you see a video, every time, you never see the beginning. You see the middle and the ass end. And if you are black, if you are a young black man of color, under no circumstances whatsoever, resist the police. Comply, comply, comply. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that say comply or you'll die. You probably want to follow that policy. I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds like a wussy thing to do. But no, it's the safest thing you can do as a man of color is to just hand them your wrist and let them handcuff your ass. Because the second that you don't, or the second that you resist, bad shit happens. Bad shit happens to people who are brown. If your ass is brown, you're going down. So you need to understand that. Why put yourself through that shit? Give it up. It's like, yo, a lot of people are going to be asking, why would you do that? I'm going to say, why would I do that? I have done that. Go back and watch some of my videos. I tell you why I've done that. My father taught me 10 and 2 and do what they tell you to do. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. 10 and 2, do what they tell you to do. Because you got a better chance of coming home. No, make a phone call. You got a better chance of coming home than trying to argue with these motherfuckers over some shit that you ain't gonna win. Thanks for watching. It's Comfort Havoc number 2. BC and you.